Yeah, good morning, YouTube. Thought we'd do a little tour of the homestead this morning. We're going to start in the west and work our way to the east. All the way to the west here on the edge of the property we have a 1B yard with the 6 hives in it. All doing pretty good still. Been feeding them pretty regularly. Zoom in on some of these feeders. Filled a couple of them yesterday. Some are taking more than others. Need to make some more syrup because we're out right now. Fortunately, none of them are out, but if we get some more syrup made tomorrow or today, feed them again tomorrow, they'll be able to keep up with that. There's a little bit of goldenrod left, but not a whole lot. So this is all the way at the west. Across from the hives is the smaller pasture. Horses were in this a couple weeks ago. It's pretty well eaten down. It's quite a while since we've had any rain. We got some the last couple days, but before that it's been almost 2 months since we had any appreciable rain. That high pile of weeds over there is supposed to be the garden. It just got away from us this year and just went haywire between the weather when it was raining heavy and cold and just not having time to work on it. It just got away from us. So we'll have to do better on the garden next year. This row of pine trees was where the Memorial Day swarm was captured at, which is, I believe, either the greenish blue bottomed hive, or I'm pretty sure it's that light blue topped hive. And it's probably one of the strongest hives I have right now. For such a tiny little swarm, it really took off. So heading north here from the bee yard. That's the driveway heading down the mountain. That's going to be a real treat if we get a heavy snow this year. I might be able to post some snowplow videos of trying to run the truck down that disaster. It wasn't bad last winter. We only had a couple inches of snow at a time, so it wasn't that hard to keep plowed. But if we get some serious foot or so of snow, it might be a real treat. North side of the property here is the big pasture. I think this thing's somewhere between 4 and 5 acres. This is where the horses are at now. Needs to do some fence work. Once again, the time factor. Horses pasture over here, houses to the south, got the barn in front of us. Property includes all the woods to both sides, to the north and to the south, but they're pretty steep hillsides, so there's not a whole lot we can do with those. We're thinking of putting a shooting range into the south, because it's the only property area that's got a dip in it. So we may do a video series on building that shooting range back there. But here's the horses. Big Percheron, there's Mercury. Got Koya, quarter horse. The old man Sam, another Percheron over there behind the barn, and Miss Porcupine's sister's horse Chioki. Here comes Mercury to have his YouTube camera debut. How you doing, Mercury? Huh? Good boy. So moving around the barn, a third of this barn, that far end back there is 2 big horse stalls. This end up here is the shop area, and we try and keep the center open for working on vehicles and the tractors, and that's where we park the lawnmowers and the 4-wheelers and so forth. There's one of the male peacocks. And there's Mama Peahen and the little baby, and the noisy Bantam chickens that are free ranging out here. It's the chicken coop over in the woods. That's the egg layers, and the big rooster back there. There's the Golden Jubilee waiting to be used. This was the pen that the peacocks were kept in when she was just a tiny baby. There's more of the pasture coming around. This little tarped area is where the pygmy goat lives. I've got a better barn for him over at the other property. We haven't got moved over here yet, but he seems pretty happy into that tarp. He stays dry. He's got a bunch of hay and stuff, so he's pretty happy in there. Continuing west, you can see here to the south, we're pretty heavily wooded. If anyone knows a good, easy way to change transfer case in an 05 Ford Escape, I'm all ears. That's got a bad transfer case in it. It's a decent little vehicle, but it was what I could tell, a real nightmare to get to change that transfer case. So it's just sitting for a while now. Maybe that's a winter project and some future video material. All the way to the east here, we have the sailboat project, something else that's unfortunately just sitting, not having time to work on. And we come around to the edge. The property ends here at the fence line, or just past it. And come back around here in the woods, all the way to the west, or probably the east. Myself backwards. Is the other 5 beehives. This is the original bee yard. Of course, the tall hive there was the one we vacuumed out of a tree real late last year that we got all the swarms off of. And that's the one we got the 14 pounds of honey out of. But that's pretty much the homestead from one end to the other. Got bees on both ends, horses in the middle, the chickens, the peacocks, the goats. Of course, there's cats everywhere, and the dogs they're all in the house. The Doberman was out walking around with me, but all the rest of the dogs were in the house. So that's the homestead. Please subscribe, thumbs up. Any questions and comments are always welcome. And maybe at some point I'll get the drone out and try and do this kind of tour with the drone. I'm still learning how to fly that thing. It's a little on the tricky side. So again, thanks for watching, and have a good day.